Zach Voice here. This spooky month of October, I decided to put something very special together for everyone. In the description is a free link to my Tales Doll 3D file so that you can have one of these very special little guys yourself. My personal Tales Doll is also for sale via the link below. That is, unless I can't catch him. I won't believe how good at hiding he is. Firstly, for the parts, each are PLA Plus 3-layer walls with a 20% gyroid infill. It would be perfectly acceptable to use a lightning infill for your parts, however, be aware that the holes for the plugs will be less stable. Remember to use full supports and a raft if you need it. So, let me give you the quick overview of how this blank doll goes together for those of you that like the quick version. Make sure that you watch the whole video if you want to follow along and finish yours like mine. Here we have the pieces mostly cleaned up and free of support material besides the limbs, which I'll leave on the raft to keep in order. Here is how I recommend stringing the pieces together. This 50-pound clear fishing line. Feel free to choose a different strength of line or string, just note that the tolerances in the pieces are based on this specific line. String the line through one arm hole and out the other. The limbs.stl are organized on the build plate exactly how they go on the model. String the shoulder, then a forearm on one side. Finally, finish that side by tying a knot on the end of the string and sliding it into a hole in a hand. Take one of the plugs and push the knot with the plug into the hand hole. Secure everything in place with a dab of super glue, then repeat the process now for the other arm, making sure that both arms are tight enough to the torso. If you find that the limbs are not tight enough to the torso, before you apply glue, push the plug further into the model. I left some space behind each of the plugs for this very purpose. On to the legs. Tie a knot into the line and plug the knot into a hole on a foot. After dabbing a little glue into the plugged hole, slide the whole leg assembly in order onto the line, then secure the line the same as before into the hole with the plug on the torso. Repeat the same process now for the other leg. Finally, to start finishing things off, secure a knot into the hole on the torso where the head goes with a plug. Take out the antenna line, then slide and glue the antenna top onto the end. Now take that dried assembly and glue it into the antenna hole on the forehead. Slide the head onto the line, then plug and glue the end. If you want to hang your dolls like mine to display, or maybe you want to make a puppet, leave the line out the top. Or, if you just want a spooky doll, cut the line above the head plug. Voila! Assembled blank Tales doll. On to a detailed part 2. Let me show you how I finished mine. So, here are the things that you're going to need. First on the list is a zipper. The stores near me did not have a standalone zipper, but they did have this small, inexpensive backpack with very harvestable supplies. Here is our base fabric. This is 2 square yards of orange flannel. You will also need these 3 colors, red, black, and white, of thin fabric. I chose to use some thin felt. Here is the spray adhesive that I will be using for the whole project. A great place to get the hang of fabric wrapping your pieces is the feet and the hands. I got started with the feet. Pull out your roll of red felt and unroll enough to cover the total surface area of 1 foot. Don't be afraid to unroll more than you think that you need. It is better to have too much than too little. Either give the foot a light coating of spray adhesive on all sides or on the inside surface of the fabric. You'll see me do either throughout the video. Stick one side of your piece to the center of the fabric, then pull the fabric taut around the outside perimeter. Cut relief lines where needed to get the appropriate angles, and then finally cut off the excess material. Before you know it, both your shoes will be fully wrapped. Cut 1-inch wide strips of white felt, then apply adhesive to one side. Place 1 pass of the strip on each shoe. Looks good! I go through the backpack here, removing the threads that hold the zipper in place. Once the zipper is cut loose, I cut a 1 1/4 inch section off the bottom and super glue the ends so that the sides don't come loose from one another. On the back of the torso, hot glue the zipper in place. Apply fabric to the entire perimeter of the body as so, leaving the gray zipper section exposed. Now that the midsection is completely wrapped with flannel, let's pull the white felt back out and work on the stomach. Cut a circle out of the white felt with a total diameter of 2 inches. Glue it to the stomach as so. Don't put the white away quite yet. Wrap both ends of the tails just like this, overlapping the edge approximately about a 1/4 inch. So, here you see me hand staple 1/4 inch 6mm T50 staples decoratively around the stomach area in a pattern that matches the source material. A good rule of thumb for applying staples is to space them apart approximately 1/2 inch apart. I'll include a couple pictures that I used as a guide for the staples. Now apply staples in between the white and orange separation on the ends of the tails. Let's move back down to the feet for a second. With a black Sharpie marker, draw a dark black line down the top middle portions of the shoes, as so, avoiding the white strips. Again, add the decorative staples. Move on to the hands now using the white felt. Wrap the hands with the felt, then place them to the side. I think we now have enough experience to move on to the most difficult portion of the build, the head. Cut 4 inches off the top of the zipper now, including the actual zipper piece at the top. Super glue the back of the zipper to fix the two halves and the zipper itself into place. Now hot glue the zipper to the center rear of the head along the angle edge vertically. It should look like this when you're done. Now that the zipper is in place, cut out enough orange flannel to cover the whole head. So I start with the front of the face and work my way backwards, avoiding covering the actual zipper section. Here is my finished result. Per the source material, draw black lines from the bottom of the ears to the bottom of the head. Now apply staples down those same lines. Pull the hands back out and apply black Sharpie lines around the circumference of the outside like so. Then again, apply staples. Measure out enough white felt for the nose and the ears. Glue the white over the nose and the ears like you see me doing here. You should be able to see where the ears and the nose begins and ends simply by looking for the angle edges in the head and the face. Just follow the lines. Staples are applied around each of the ears now. So here, the angles are inverted around the ears. So take a hard tool like a pliers or a screwdriver and push the centers of the staples to make the same shape of the angles. In my build, I found a circular container to guide my eye cuts. The whites of the eyes ended up being a total diameter of 1.5 inches. The black pupils ended up being 3/4 inch diameter. Glue the eyes together on the table, making sure that everything is perfectly centered. Then glue both of the eyes to the doll. Before the glue sets, be sure to take a step back and look at the face to make sure that everything looks right. It's easy to adjust the eyes before it's too late. Finally, pull the black felt back out and cut out a section for the nose. Start big, then slowly cut snippets away until the nose takes shape. If everything looks good thus far, set it aside to dry. Let's work on the antenna. After sliding the antenna wire piece into the top receiver fully, super glue the wire and the antenna top assembly together. I cleaned the diamond off with a little IPA out in the garage. Once dried, the top got 3 coats of this gloss banner red spray paint. While that's drying now, the legs that I 3D modeled should be done printing. Again, if you're following along, the limbs.stl file should be organized on the build plate in the same orientation that they get placed onto the model. It's here that I will be referring back to the beginning of the video if you need a reference on how I'm assembling the doll. Rewatch at this time right here at the bottom of the screen for a refresher on how the doll goes together. The only difference here that you will need is to cut out, move a little bit of fabric out of the way to push the plug into place. To finish everything off, I paint the antenna wire white with a small brush and apply a little white felt as trim at the bottom. Presenting my finished prototype. Thanks again for watching. I've amassed quite a few fun gaming and movie 3D print videos already, so feel free to hang around and check them out. Have a wonderful Halloween season, and I will see you later.